line.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to wrap things up here. And it wouldn't be a complete Doc and Lefty show unless I let Doc just kind of wallow in some conspiracy stuff for the last 10 minutes. And and folks out there that really cotton to that, you're welcome. Other folks that might not so much, I'll shut down some of the things. But Doc, take it away, because
all right. First of all,
go ahead.
Well, first of all, starting with Vince Foster, right?
You've already lost me.
Yeah. Well, the problem is, we've talked about this before. They found Vince Foster in an area that could very easily dispose of a body and arrest him.
That could be anywhere. And Ken Starr didn't find any evidence of anything.
You have to. Well, that's because they're slick. They call him Slick Willie for a reason.
Actually, I'm going to preface it because I was thinking about this all day. Right. I'm going to preface this and then let you go off, and you won't hear it again from me. So Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton have been accused of some pretty awful stuff over the last 40 years, going all the way back into Arkansas, killing people, racketeering, all manner of things, and not a single piece of evidence has ever been found to link them to any of these crimes they've been accused of. They haven't been charged with a crime. They haven't been prosecuted for a crime. They haven't been convicted of a crime. All of these investigations have come up with nothing to indicate any kind of wrongdoing of what they've been accused of. So either they are the single greatest sociopathic liars of all time, such that even Ted Bundy wasn't somebody that could compete with them in terms of doing bad things and getting away with it, or every single Republican who has investigated them is a willful stooge moron. That's what, and I can't accept either of those two things because they're so crazy. You can't run a criminal even the mafia didn't get away with it for that long. So and everybody else was helping them cover stuff up, not Republicans looking into them constantly for 40 years. So if you were that good at just and had that much power and had that many people afraid of you, that kind of sounds like a president I want, doesn't it? That's just a joke, but okay. So that's my take on. So
you're telling me he's much more like Putin than what we knew.
Hey, if the Republicans have had this love affair with Vladimir Putin as far as being a strong man and being somebody who can get things done through just sheer force of will and corruption
and gunfire,
then I'm with her.
All right.
But,
yes.
Okay, so that's just my take on Clinton. It doesn't wash with me. But go ahead.
And you make very good points. They have not been convicted of anything. Everybody's always suspicious about stuff. Now, one of the points you brought up was, the mafia. Honest to goodness, the mafia was not able to be broken until the FBI started doing the RICO statutes and the WITSEC program. Mm-hmm. Those two things together, where they could take somebody that might break and hide them, like Harry Hill, right? That's when it broke. And the problem is, before then, the mafia took care of the problem the same way the Clintons do, and that is a 22 in the back. I'm just saying. They haven't been convicted of anything. You should see the first time that Lefty has actually turned a color besides off-white pale. He's turned a little
not
red
even charged, not even accused.
All right.
Not even accused, except by
But the thing
wackos.
is, I started thinking, now the Vince Foster thing, I think there's something there. I think that the McDougalls, honest to goodness, James McDougal would rather spend a life sentence in jail, which is what it turned out to be, rather than testify against Bill and Hillary. Same for his wife, Susan McDougal. What'd she do? 8 years? Not say anything. The latest thing is this Seth, I forget his name. He's on his way to the FBI to testify. He gets gunned down from the back. Now, I thought to myself, I wonder how much of this stuff, because I love conspiracy theories, but I really don't think that they actively go around trying to shoot people. I really don't. I started looking at the number of people connected directly to the Clintons that have died. And so that number is 92, according to Google. And the number of people that died under what they term mysterious circumstances, which is, kind of vague, is about 46. And I thought, well, what about under Bush? There isn't any close dead bodies under Bush 2. However, there's like 16 under Bush 1. Then I took another step back to Ford, and Ford doesn't have any, or actually Ford has, I think, 8. And then I looked at Reagan. Reagan doesn't have any. Nixon, I couldn't find anything about it.
Well, that's in the 18-minute deleted minutes.
Well, that may be true, but there's nobody who was closely associated.
He confesses to everything that
got shot.
Yeah.
You know? So here it is. Now, if there isn't something going on, because they have 4 times the number of associates, and that's like me and you and Mac, we would be an associate. We would know each other and all that. Close associate would be me and you, right, and maybe Maddie. So when I'm looking at these numbers, I'm thinking something has to be there, because either you have tremendously bad luck, like Gary Condit and Chandra Levy. And if you don't remember, Chandra Levy was found dead, and they blamed Gary Condit, and turns out it was some other guy that killed him. He just happened to be, unfortunately, involved with her, right? So there's always that. But at some point, you have to go, hold on. The odds of something actually being wrong here really are pretty good, because of the numbers of dead bodies around them. So, and just to put this in perspective, it is a wall 8 feet high and 28 feet long. Just letting people know that's how big the body count is, close associates to Clinton. So I don't know, you're going to the thing. Now you're in DC, there's always a good chance to get shot. Pretty bad chance of getting shot bright and early in the morning like this guy was. And so, you sit there and think, geez. Now, the Republicans may be morons. Well, you and I have agreed on that particular thing more than once. Or they're they're best pathological liars out there. I would agree with that, because even in the face of overwhelming evidence, they still continued to lie. Bill Clinton continued to lie. Vast right-wing conspiracy. Hillary continued to that stuff. So, they're pretty good at the shuffle game, and they're pretty good. And I will tell you, nobody beats a rap like a Clinton. I'm going to tell you that.
If there was vast, overwhelming... See, there's something that that we come across every once in a while when we're doing different kinds of appeals. One of those sort of like post trial things that you can do is you can file a post conviction action. That's you want a judge to say, to look back at what your lawyer did, and if your lawyer was ineffective in some way, then you can have your original trial relitigated possibly. It's a way to kind of get to collaterally attack your conviction. If you think things were mistakes were made that prejudiced you. And there are cases out there that say the lawyer absolutely did something so wrong here, but the overwhelming evidence of guilt, or the evidence of guilt, was so overwhelming that it wouldn't have changed anything about the trial. And that's where, the defendant said something, or the blood was in his car, that sort of stuff. That's the standard of overwhelming evidence. If there's overwhelming evidence of stuff like this that you're claiming that the Clintons were involved in, something would have happened by now. Because you can't be that. This married couple cannot be. So there is no historical precedent for what the Clintons have been accused of and gotten away with, according to you, anywhere else in history. They would be a monument to the worst sort of like Bonnie and Clyde sort of thing ever. So either they're better than they're the Michael Jordan and LeBron James of killing folks and corruption, or it's all made up. And what do we say when about what does Occam's razor say? Oh yeah,
the simplest explanation. Yeah. So the simplest explanation is they really are the LeBron. All right, man. You going anywhere? You doing anything this week?
No, we're just hanging out.
All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll be back right after this week.
Hi, I'm Representative Tom Shaw, and I love these guys. Both of them.
Love these guys. Get over here. Love both of them.